Hello everyone, my name is Clarissa Gossett and thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to create this star with the streamers in red, white, and blue and the lettering USA in red, white, and blue. And the whole thing was created as a patch that I fused onto the back of a denim shirt. To fuse it, I used our new Floriani Press and Bond fusible thread in the bobbin. So I placed the fusible thread in the bobbin and this whole entire patch was fusible. This one I did a little differently. The written instructions in this project tell you how I did both. The software I used was Floriani Total Control and also our brand new Rainbow software. Rainbow is so much fun. Rainbow allows me to take any existing design and change the colorways by just clicking a few buttons. So let me talk a little bit about Rainbow. Rainbow is a freestanding program. You don't need any other software to use it. So if you don't own any software or own minimal software, you can use Rainbow, or you can also add it to any Floriani software you already own. So it's user-friendly for everyone to use, and it's a lot of fun. Some other things to know about it. You can make your own Rainbow theme, or there are preset themes, and we'll play with some of those. The beauty of it also is that it includes all the features of the Creative Express. So Creative Express is a little piece of software that anybody can own, and it's free. So once you download Creative Express or you update your software to the current version, you get Creative Express. Once you get Creative Express, you can have all of these features. A new fun feature, photo play. So I take a photograph, and with a few clicks I turn it into stitches for me to stitch out. Some other features of a Creative Express. All of these features are available in Creative Express. Not going to go into details, but this is all included in the freestanding Rainbow program. It's also added to your Total Control if you update your Total Control. Alright, so let's open up my software. So the first thing I did was I created the design. So the design was just artwork, and in your software are hundreds of pieces of artwork that you can use to create designs. So I wanted to use the auto digitizing wizard. That's this little wizard hat at the top. Click the drop down arrow next to the wizard hat and click the wizard. And I'm going to select the image, and what comes up for me are all the pieces of artwork or the JPEGs that come in the software. Hundreds of them to play with. If it doesn't come up automatically for you, it should be set to, but sometimes things get goofed up. It's in your C drive, your program data, Floriani, TCU, library, and images. So here are the images, and I'm going to scroll down to number 18. There's the star with the streamers, and click open, and click next. And now it's asking me what size I want. Well, mine happens to be in millimeters at this point because I've got my ruler set in millimeters, okay, which is fine for me at this point because I'm going to go by the size of my hoops, and my hoops are in millimeters. But if it happens to be in inches, the fancy way I've decided or learned how to translate this is to use a tape measure and look on the tape measure to see where your millimeters are, flip it over, and then you'll get your inches. So I know that my tallest hoop is 200 by 300. So I'm going to use this direction of my hoop and change my height to 199. Click next. And now my artwork is the right size. I've got all my colors it found. Now if your artwork is very pixelated and kind of shady, you'll see a lot of colors here. And you'll have to minimize the number of colors down, but we're going to stick with the 3. Click next. We don't want to fill the background, so leave that unchecked. Click next and finish. Yay, we now have an embroidery design digitized. Good. So some things I want to do at this point. I want to select the entire item. I can do that by touching Control A on my keyboard, or I can click all items over here in the sequence view. And I'm going to rotate this so these streamers are more parallel or more, vertical. So let's rotate that so the ends are vertical. A little bit less. There you go, beautiful. And the next thing I want to do is check the size. Remember, the maximum size my hoop has is 200. Well, it happened to end up 215, which is too big for my hoop. So I'm going to resize this to be the right size before I begin anything. And I need to minimize my sequence view. I do that by clicking the properties box. Yours might be minimized already, but if you ever want to look at your sequence view large, you click the properties box here and you can see that it goes large and small. And it's still too large, so if you hover over the bar above the sequence view and drag it down, there we go. And now you can see that I can toggle between both. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to change the size. So I have this arrow on the right, click here, clear to the right, and then I have this icon, this tab called Transform. Click the Transform tab. And I want my height to be 200. Actually I'm going to do 199. And that will now fit in my hoop. Good. Okay, so some fun things I can do with this existing design. Let's maybe play a little bit with the fill patterns. And select the red streamers. And we've got lots and lots of fill patterns to play with. We're going to go to the fancy menu, and there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fill patterns to play with. We could spend all day just playing with the fill patterns, but I selected one, number 241. Click there and click Apply. And when I look at it, it looks okay here, but I want to kind of view it up close. I'm going to click my magnifying glass on the left, and I'm going to hold it and then hold my left mouse key down and drag a box left and right. And you can see that these are pretty big satin stitches. I don't want big loopy satin stitches on the back of my shirt, so I'm going to select it again. To turn off the magnifying glass, you have to select the top red arrow here, and I'm going to change the emboss scale to about 50%. That means these will be half as large. So 50%, and then click Apply. Good. Zoom back out by double clicking the magnifying glass. And if you'll notice on my picture, my rainbow goes this direction, my color changes go this direction. Let's see what direction this fill pattern is on these streamers. So if I select one of them, I can select my shape tool, and you can see that that's not going to fill this direction. So I'm going to drag this yellow line, drag the black dot at the end of the line, and make it parallel with the end of my streamer, and right click. Select this one and do the same. Right click, select the last one, whoa, and do the same here. So now it will fill this direction, not sideways like this. Alright, so the next thing I need to do is I want to apply the rainbow theme to my streamers. Now I want every streamer to be the same pattern. But if I apply it to all of the red stripes, if I select them all, the rainbow will go here, 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 and end up here. So I'd be red up here and white, then blue would end up down here. But I want the whole rainbow on each one. So I'm going to select this one. I'm going to copy it, open a new page, and paste that streamer. Go back to my original design. Do you see where I'm going with this? Select the next streamer, copy it, open a new page, and paste it. And the last one. Select it, copy it, new page, and paste. There we go. So I now got my original and my 3 streamers. All right, let's start on our first streamer. It's selected. If I don't have it selected, the rainbow function won't be lit up, so I need to select it. I click the rainbow, and I made my own USA theme. All right, we can apply any of the existing themes. These themes are already in our rainbow software. Cool colors. Nice. Now if you don't like, how wide the stripes are, you can move the slider bars. I get less green, a little less aqua. I like that one, so we'll just move these left and right however you want. But you notice I have grape here and I have poly grape here. Got 2 grapes. Let's click this one and change it to, I don't know, light purple. There we go. But I don't have any of my grape because this grape is the underlay, and then it stitches, let's see, it stitches this direction, then, it stitches this direction underlay, and then starts laying down the colors this direction. So for it to show up with the dark purple, I need to slide these bars over, and you can see that the dark purple now shows because I have more of it. So it's going to stitch underlay, 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 dark purple, then I start my color sequence. Okay, let's do another color palette. Let's do electric. Ooh, what is electric? Wow, pucker up. But I don't have any of the aqua, do I? Because it's my underlay. There we go. Slide it over. Now I have aqua. A little less yellow, a little more green. Slide these left and right however you want your color stops to be. A little less aqua. There we go. Then we say OK. And it comes into our screen with that color palette. Good. Okay, so you can play around, do whatever you want, move, slide the arrows, click on it again. We can open the rainbow and adjust it more if we want, slide these left and right. But let's say I want to make my own color palette. So let's click New, and what should we name it? Let's name it, Fun. How about Fun? Say OK. And when I get a new color palette, I get 2 colors, 2 color stops. All right, so what I need to do, let's say I'm making the USA color palette over again. I need to add more color stops. So how I did it was I had 4 colors of red going dark to light, white, then 4 colors of blue going dark to light. So I needed 4 color stops for red, a white, and 4 color stops for blue. Just the opposite of what we've got here. All right, so to add a color stop, you hover over until you get the plus sign at the end of your cursor and click there. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, and I need 1 more. Hover until I get the plus sign. Come on, you can do it. There we go, 4. Okay, and this would be my white right here. So let's hover until we get the plus sign. Oop. All right, so now I've got 1. That's 1 color between there. 1, 2, 3, 4, white, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 color stops of red. Perfect. All right, so now let's slide our bars over so they're kind of spread out so we can work with them. All right, and let's change them to their different colors. So if I click on it, my color chart opens, and I can open it to any thread palette that I own. But we're going to start with dark red. Let's see, the reds are up at the top. Let's click this dark red and a little bit lighter red. Maybe that one. And a little bit lighter red. That one. And the lightest red. There we go. And this will be white. So slide up, and white is right here. And then we're going to start with the blues. So we'll start with the dark blue in there at the bottom. So dark blue. A little bit lighter. Well, that's kind of a purpley blue, but you get the idea. You can play with the colors after you're done too. A little bit lighter. Oh, I don't know. This one right here, I guess. And then the very lightest blue. No, maybe something a little bit lighter. Oops, gotta click on it again. There we go. And I don't need that last color stop. I got one too many, so click and delete it. There we go. So slide these color bars over to where you want them, and you'll notice as I slide them, my image changes with the color changes. And we don't have any of the dark red because it's hiding under as underlay. So we want to slide these all down so I get more red, dark red. Oh, I got just a little bit there. So more sliding, a little less white. Slide, slide, slide. There we go. Now we've got more dark red. Say OK. And yes, we want to overwrite what's happened. And there we go. Now we've got our streamer with the color changes that we wanted, and that was really easy to do. Okay, so another thing I figured out, I kept trying to recreate the same thing with each of the streamers. So I selected it, and I noticed I couldn't get one of them right. And I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't stitch left to right, the color sequence left to right. I figured out, because my design started and stopped at the other end. So if I start and stop down here instead of here, I can change that, my start and stop, by clicking the shape and drag these points to where I want them to start and stop. And you'll notice now everything's backwards. I don't have the red, all of the red at the beginning. I only have part at the beginning, and then it goes blue into the red. So by changing where it starts and stops, you can also adjust where your rainbow begins and ends. So we're going to undo it because we like how it was. There we go. Let's do the same to 3. And click the rainbow. And we like it, so we say OK. Do the same to 4. Click, whoops, got to select it first. Click the rainbow. We like it, say OK. And now we've got our rainbow on our streamers. So we're going to go back to Design 2, select it, copy it, open Design 1. We're going to get rid of the red streamers because we're going to put it in the rainbow streamers. Delete and paste our first streamer, second streamer, copy, open our original, paste, next streamer, select it, copy it, open the original, and paste. Okay, so that looks good. All right, so if I expand my sequence view by clicking the properties box, I can see that the star stitches first. I want it to stitch last, so I select it, I right click and move it to the last. There we go. So now my streamers will stitch first and the star last, but my streamers will stitch dark red, lighter, 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 white, blue, la la la, then here, then here. Well, I wanted all the dark red to stitch and all the lighter and lighter, lighter stitching this direction. If I do a color sort, it won't color sort because it's all stuck together as single fill patterns. So I figured out that if I go File, Save As, and we'll just save it as Design 1 on my desktop. Oh, I've already got Design 1, that's okay, we'll replace it. And it's thinking. There we go. So let's open a new page and open Design 1. Open. Go down to Design 1. Here's Design 2. Here's Design 1. Wait. Why did it do it like that? I'm not quite sure, but we'll open it. I'm not sure why it saved. Oh, because I moved the start and stop. I didn't move them back. Hello. It's only as smart as the operator. You see why it's backwards here? Because I forgot to move the start and stop back to the beginning. But we can do that later if we want. But what I can do at this point is I can combine the color, because now you see they're all separate. So I do a color sort, and I've reduced 18 color stops. Yay! So now I do all my reds, my white, my blues, and my star. Good. Perfect. Okay, so now I would File, Save As, save it in the format for my machine, and we're not going to save it. We're going to plug it into our machine and we're going to stitch it out. Now, as I mentioned, this is a patch. It's all going to be stitched with fusible thread in the bobbin and then fused onto the back of my denim shirt. So instead of fusing it on the, stitching it on the shirt, I'm going to stitch it on 3 layers of no-show mesh and then cut it out and fuse it. So the instructions on how to do that are included with the printed instructions with this project. Thank you very much. My next video, that I'll do a quick short video on how I created the lettering for the back of the shirt. Thanks for joining me and happy stitching!